Hey, hello everyone. How is it going? Nice to see you back again. In this video tutorial, we are going to see what operator overloading is and how to implement that stuff in Python. So, if any one of you have prior worked with C++ or Java, you must know actually the concept of operator overloading. For those who are not familiar with this term of operator overloading, I am going to explain it. So please bear with me. So basically operator overloading is nothing but assigning extra work to the operator. Okay, so let's keep aside all the definitions given in the majority of books, okay, because I do not believe in books, I believe in practical. So now how I understand operator overloading is like assigning extra work to the operators and making operators work for the objects of user defined classes. So what it means is that suppose you have two integers, okay, a equal to 5 and b equal to 6. Now if I use addition operator with these things, okay, if I just say print, okay, a plus b, then what is going to happen? It is going to print 10, right? So let us try this thing in console. Okay, so this is let's open the console. Okay, this is the console. Just say a equal to 6 and b equal to 4 and print a plus b. Okay, now as you can see that everything is an object in Python, right? We already know that everything is an object in Python. A is of type int. Okay, so if I just try to print type of a, it says int. Okay, and the same goes on with b. Okay, so if I just say b here in place of a and I say enter, okay, so it says the type of a and b is int. Okay, so now these are like built-in objects. Okay, a and b are built-in objects, and this operator addition, okay, so addition operator is performing the of course it is performing the operation of addition. Okay, it is mathematically adding the values which are held by the variables a and b, okay, which are held by the objects a and b, to be very precise. Okay, so this behavior of addition operator is very well defined for built-in objects in Python. Okay, or we can just say for integers the addition operator means like addition of two numbers. Okay, so suppose like there are two other things, there are two other variables. Okay, so I just say hello, okay, and space and d equal to worlds, and if I'm going to print c plus d, it must print hello world. Okay, so now this prints hello world. Now you know that this c and d, these are strings. Okay, so if you want to see that, print type of c, okay, and print type of d. If I even print the type of d, it is going to give me the same results. Okay, I hope you are able to see this thing. Okay, so type of c and type of d is string. So now the same operator, right, addition, it performs it actually behaves in a different way when the objects passed to that are the of type string. Okay, so this is known as overloading of operators, right? That we are able to achieve the different results with different type of objects using same operator, right? The operator is same, as you can see, the operator is same. Operator is addition operator, mathematical addition operator, but it is able to add the numbers when we pass numbers to it, and it is able to concatenate the strings or joining the strings when we are passing the strings to that operator. Okay, now if I want to define, if I want to customize that functionality, I mean, this is already overloaded. As I can see, this is already overloaded, right? The same operator is behaving in two different ways when we are passing two different set of parameters to that operator, right? So this operator addition is already overloaded. but when I can also overload it according to my own choice, okay, according to the functionality that I want to achieve myself. Okay, so now for that we will define a custom class. Now let us try to do the same. Class point. Okay, so this class defines a point in a 3-dimensional space. So let's get started with the initializer method, def. We all know what initializer methods are. Def init and self. So now we are just going to have the coordinates y and z. Okay, and we will just say self dot x equal to x and self dot y equal to y, self dot z equal to z. So this defines a point. Okay, so this is an initializer for the point. So this is how the point will be initialized. And now let's define like how this function will behave, how this method will behave, sorry, or how the object will behave when I pass this object to the print function. Okay, the inbuilt print function. So there is a special method for that. It says def. Okay, it says def and str self. So now whenever I'm going to just say just pass an object of class point, okay, to print function, okay, to built-in print function, it is going to print the values of it is going to basically call this str function, okay, underscore underscore str underscore underscore method, and it will actually execute whatever code is there in this method. So now let us define this method. So I have already got the prepared code for it. Okay, it says return 0. It says return, and it actually formats the string. Okay, and it actually prints it prints the values of the coordinate. Okay, x, y, and z coordinates. So now this is actually more than enough to get started with. And let's define the main function. This is the main function. Let's define a point. Let's say p1 equal to point, and it is origin. Okay, let's keep it as origin, and let us print this point. We have printed the point by means, we can print the point by means of like passing the object of that point, okay, to the print function. Now you can see that when we call this print function and this way, okay, we can just like pass the object and it is going to call the underscore underscore str underscore underscore method. Now let's define the if name main. Okay, and just call the main method, main function. Okay, sorry. So now let us define let us run this program. Okay, so I have executed this module, and all I am able to see is that 0, 0, 0, okay, in the brackets and separated by comma. Okay, this is how I had actually formatted the string. So I had actually formatted that this way, the string, and it actually returns a string, and by catching it in print function, I am actually able to print that string. Okay, so now this is actually very basic skeleton of a function. This is a very basic skeleton of our code. I can actually define another object of class point, and I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm also going to print the value of point p2. Now let's see what the result is. It's probably going to ask me to save the module. Okay, I have saved the module. Now you can see the difference between the output, because we are actually introducing a new object here, and it is able to print the output. Okay, it is able to print the value of that object. Okay, the values of the coordinates that object is holding. Now if I try to print something of this sort, okay, p1 plus p2, then I'm going to have trouble. Okay, because we haven't actually defined the behavior of, see it says type error, unsupported operand types for plus, okay, point and point. So as you can see, I haven't actually defined the plus operator for the type of operands which are supposed to be point. Okay, so as of now the plus operator doesn't work on custom class, the objects of custom class point. So I have to overload it. Okay, I have to define that behavior. So there is a way to do that. So def underscore underscore add underscore underscore self. Okay, self comma other. Now now let me tell you something. Okay, whenever you wanna overload the plus operator, you have to define a custom method. Okay, and the name of that method is, you have to define a method. Okay, you have to actually keep the name of that method as underscore underscore add underscore underscore. Okay, and then I mean this is convention. Okay, so if you want to overload add operator, then you will have to define this method only. Okay, this method, the parameters actually could be different, but basically the name of the method should be underscore underscore add underscore underscore. Okay, now let us define the method. So we can just say self dot x equal to, okay, self dot x equal to self dot x plus other dot x. Same way we can just say and let us make the necessary changes here, and let us say z, and z. Okay, now self.x equal to self.x and other.x, self.y equal to self.y and other.y, self.z equal to self.z plus other.z, and let us return this thing, this entire thing. Return, and we are going to create a new object for point. Okay, let's say self dot x comma self dot y comma self dot z. Okay, so this entire method underscore underscore add underscore underscore returns a point. Okay, so I guess I got the written spelling wrong. Now it has been corrected. So now let's see what is the output of this entire program. Okay, now let us run the code. Right, so now this is the first set of coordinates was 0, 0, 0, and the second was 1, 2, 3. So of course, like anything added to 0 is the same thing. That's why we are getting the same output. We can modify this thing a bit, and we can just say 3, 1, 2. Okay, so we are going to add these 2 points. Okay, and then we are going to get the result. Okay, this is the result. Now as you can see, 3 plus 1 is 4, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5. So this is how we have overloaded the addition operator. So there are other operators which can also be overloaded. So I mean, you can overload almost all the arithmetic and logical operators. You can overload other operators too. We can also overload the unary operators as well as comparison operators. Unary operators are the operators which accept only one operand. Just like okay, so let's take an example of let's consider example of minus operator. Okay, this minus sign. So it can be actually used in 2 modes. It can be used in binary mode, and then we can actually even use it as minus a. Okay, so this is the binary of this is like when we are actually using it for calculating the difference between 2 operands, and then this is the way we are using it for like negating a value. When we are using it in the second way for negating a value, then we call it the unary operator. Okay, so we can overload all these operators, and there is actually a list of special methods to be overridden for that. So you can find actually that list in my book, that I have written. And as these videos, the book is also free. You can find the link to the book in the description of this video. This is how we actually use overloading for like assigning additional work to the operators with respect to the custom objects for the custom classes. I hope that you got a fair idea of what operator overloading is. Thanks a lot for watching my videos, and please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.